7, pay off a small debt every month. Now, this is something that I'm not going to say that I totally disagree with or totally agree with, but it talks about paying off a small debt every month. And what it's referring to is if you have, let's say you have a credit card with basically a zero balance, but then you decide to put a couple of things on it that are automatic. If you've got like, I don't know, Netflix, or, if you're an entrepreneur and you're doing a funnel or whatever it is, and you've got a place that's collecting that information and charging you $10 a month for it, those kinds of things. You've got your Amazon Prime on it or what have you. So you have those little things on it. Maybe you just have the one thing on it. Maybe it's just Netflix, and whatever that fee is, $14.99, $9.99, whatever it is, it goes on that credit card and you pay it off every month. So in this particular article, they're saying that that's a good thing for you. That'll be helpful for you to pay off those small little things every month that is helpful for you on your credit report. Like I said, I don't agree or disagree really on this because, one, you don't need to hold a balance on a credit card to help you with your credit score. That's not necessarily helpful for you in those ways. And then it also kind of depends on when it's reported, when you actually pay, and all of those things. When the credit card company actually reports to the credit bureau, when the credit bureau actually sees it and whatnot. For myself personally, I have one of these. It's $9.99 a month. It shows up every month on my statement. I make the payment as soon as I get it. I make that payment, but every month on my credit report, it always shows I have a balance of $9. It always shows that every month I have a balance of $9, even though I always pay it off. I never collect any interest on it or anything of that nature, but it always shows it. So the reason that it does is because I'm almost in a catch-22. Even though I pay it, by the time that it gets reported to the credit bureau, they still think I owe $9 on it. So I'm either up or down on this particular one, but paying off a small debt every month is something that they said in this particular article from the Huffington Post. Number 8, and it's just one more after this. Number 8, and we're going to get out of here. Number 8, take out a credit builder loan. Take out a credit builder loan. That doesn't actually cause you it doesn't involve any money. So like a secured card, if you were going to secure a credit card, that involves you giving somebody money. A credit builder loan is basically the same thing, but it doesn't cost you any money up front. With a credit builder loan, which you can get at a credit union, and again, you don't have to be an electrician to be in an electrician's credit union. You can join that. However, they usually make you open an account. $25 is probably the minimum to open an account, but you can get a credit builder loan. And in this loan, what happens, whatever it is, maybe it's $1,000. Then it's $1,000. They lay your payments out over 12 months or so. You can do smaller. So let's say you do 500, you can lay your payments out over 6 months or 9 months or 12 months, and then you make payments every month. You don't get that $500. You don't get that $1,000 up front. You make payments every month. It's reported to all 3 credit bureaus, and you're making these payments. That is an installment loan, which is good for your mix, for the mix of types of credit that you have, right? So that's good for you. You pay that amount every month, and then when it's paid off or at the end of your term, then that's when you get the money. I say it's like a forced savings. Back in the day, there used to be like a Christmas club or whatever at credit unions. It's like a forced savings, and then at the end, you get that money. It helped you build your credit all during this time. You made that payment, and it's small, right? So if you got $1,000 over 12 months, it's a small payment, not a lot. And in some places, you even get some of the interest back as well that you paid on it. So it's actually a very good thing. So a credit builder loan is something that you want to do as well, if it's possible during this time. That helps you with your credit. And then the last thing mentioned in this article, which is my favorite thing, is what? Authorized user. So if you can be added as an authorized user, somebody asked a question about it last week on the show, question of the day last week. If you can be added as an authorized user on somebody else's long-standing credit card, that's absolutely going to be helpful for you. You're going to get the benefit of all those payments that they've made for all those years. Let's say the credit card's 10 years old. You get the benefit of all those payments for 10 years that they've made on your credit report. You also get the benefit of the credit utilization, because if you're going to do this, you want a person that has, a healthy limit and a very low balance. Definitely under 30%, like we talked about. So you get that benefit as well. Since it's 10 years old, talked about that length of history. These are all pillars of your credit. So these are all pillars of your credit. Length of history, it helps you out with that. Let's say you didn't have a credit card. It helps you with your mix, the different kinds of credit you have. So now you got a revolving card on your credit report. So that's all helpful on there. And you don't even get an inquiry either when you do this. So if you can become an authorized user on somebody's account, then that's going to be great for you. How does it? You don't get all of their credit, just the card that you're talking about. So you're talking to people and it's like, man, I got bad credit. I can't really help you out with this or whatever. If they just got one good credit card that they've never missed a payment on, that has a low balance and a high limit on it, then they can help you out with this particular thing. So that's always a good thing to have an authorized user. So it does not hurt you at all to have one. The only time it can hurt you is if that person, the original card holder, decides not to make the payment. If they miss a payment, then it can hurt you. But as long as they make their payments, they've kept that card up, they've kept their credit good, and you can trust that, then you can jump on and be an authorized user on a credit card in there for them. So those are the 9 things. Those are the 9 things that can help you out during this particular situation right now, or any economic situation you find yourself in during like this pandemic or whatnot. If you're in a hurricane somewhere, if you're in wildfire somewhere, what have you, all of these things are very helpful for your credit to help you maintain and keep a good credit score. So, hey, thank you guys so much for coming in and listening to the 800 Credit Score Man Show. You know how much I really appreciate you guys. Come back next week. Is next week Halloween? It's not Halloween yet. We're going to do a Halloween show. We're going to talk about scary stuff for your credit for the Halloween show. I've already started preparing that particular show. But come back next week, see what we have to say about your credit and how to increase it. And if you got questions, all you got to do is contact me, 800@creditscoreman.com. Talked a lot about the 5 pillars of credit today. So go get my book. Go get my book on Amazon. It's an ebook. You can read it on your lunch hours. It's an ebook, and it only costs $2.99. So go to Amazon, get 5 Pillars of Credit by Kevin King, the 800 Credit Score Man, and you can download it today, and you can read it this afternoon, and you can learn a lot about your credit and what impacts your credit score. So, like I say, come back next week and check us out. When you increase your credit scores, you lower the interest rates that you pay, and it saves you money. You know how I got to do before I get out of here? Kobe, Cameron, and Carter, I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. I'm out.